In the last lecture, we have seen two state and five state process models and two processor modes, kernel and user mode. Now we will see what is suspended process. We are aware that there are three main states of processes: ready, running and block. Some operating systems uses these states, but there are other operating systems which uses other states also. As we already discussed that the speed of I/O activities is slower than the processor speed, most of the time processor remains idle. One solution can be we can accommodate more processes in main memory. But here are two flaws in this approach. First, if we take large size of main memory, then the cost of the main memory will be very high. Second, the memory requirement of programs has been increased, so larger memory results in larger processes, not more processes. Another solution is swapping. We have seen what is swapping. It involves moving part or all of a process from main memory to secondary memory. When none of the processes in main memory is in the ready state, OS swaps one of the block processes, maybe one which is waiting for I/O activity, out on the secondary memory into the suspend queue to make a room for another ready process. Then OS will bring another process from the suspend queue or a new process to execute in main memory. So here the preference is given to the suspend queue, not the new process. So what is the suspend process? The process which is blocked and is in main memory will be swapped by OS to secondary memory is called suspend process or suspended process. The suspended process will wait in the queue called suspend queue. Here the problem is swapping is also an I/O operation, but it is better than tape or printer I/O. Hence, swapping will usually enhance the performance. With the use of swapping, one more state called as suspended state must be added to the process model which we have studied earlier. So here you can see in the figure the suspend state is added. When all the processes in main memory are in block state, then OS can suspend one process, putting it in the suspended state and transferring it to the secondary memory. The space which is freed in the main memory can be used to bring another process. OS can bring new process or previously suspended process. The priority is given to the suspended process. But all the processes that have suspended were in the block state at the time of suspension. Not helpful to bring block processes in the main memory because it is not still ready for the execution. Each process in the suspended mode was originally blocked on a particular event. When the event occurs, the process is not blocked and is available for execution. In all, there will be four states: ready, blocked, block suspended, and ready suspended. Ready and block state we have already seen. So what is blocked suspended state? When main memory has swapped the process to secondary memory, that time it was in block state. So the block process became suspended process. The process was blocked because it was waiting for some event like I/O activity to occur. And what is ready suspended state? The process is in secondary memory, but it is available for the execution as soon as it is loaded into main memory. Here the assumption is there is no virtual memory, hence the process is either in main memory or secondary memory. The dashed lines in the figure indicate possible but not necessary transitions. Here we will see different transitions. First we will see blocked to blocked suspended state. If there are no ready processes in main memory, then at least one block process is swapped by the OS to make a room for another process that is not blocked. This swapping can be done even if there are ready processes available in main memory. In case if the OS decides that the currently running process requires more main memory. The next transition is block suspend to ready suspend. A process in the block suspend state is moved into the ready suspend state when the event for which it has been waiting occurs. Okay, now we'll see the transition from ready suspend state to ready. When there are no ready processes in main memory, the OS will bring one ready process to continue execution. It may happen that the process in ready suspend state has higher priority than any of the ready processes. In that case, OS can bring in that particular process. Now the transition from ready state to ready suspend state. Generally, OS prefers to suspend the block process instead of ready process. However, it may be necessary to suspend a ready process if that is the only way to free up main memory for some other important task. Also, the OS may choose to suspend a ready process if the process has lower priority than the block process and OS believes that the block process will be ready soon. Okay, now we'll see the transition from new, new state to ready suspend state as well as new to ready state. When a new process is created, it can either be added to the ready queue or the ready suspend queue. In either case, the OS must create a process control block and allocate an address space to the process. Next transition we'll see from block suspend state to block state. This transition shows it is a poor design because there is no use of bringing in a block process, but may be useful in some scenarios like suppose a process is terminated. Because of that, the main memory has a free space. So there is a process in the block suspend queue with a higher priority than any of the processes in the ready suspend queue, and the OS has a reason to believe that the blocking event for that process will occur soon. Under these circumstances, it would seem reasonable to bring a block process into main memory in preference to a ready process. Next transition we'll see is from running state to ready suspend state. Normally a running process is moved to the ready state when its time allocation expires. If, however, the OS is preempting the process because a higher priority process on the block suspend queue has just become unblocked, the OS could move the running process directly to the ready suspend queue and free some main memory. The next transition is from any state to exit state. Typically, a process terminates while it is running, either because it has completed or because of some fatal fault condition. However, in some operating systems, a process may be terminated by the process that created it or when the parent process is itself terminated. If this is allowed, then a process in any state can be moved to the exit state.